Scott McNeil, just your voice needs to call me. Like, just your voice, not the rest. Like, you're. I mean, maybe. Hey there, Toonami faithful, and welcome back aboard Toonami Absolution, where we talk about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. Once again, we are your hosts. My name is Alyx.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John, and back with Dragon Ball Z, but sort of veering off course briefly. So, episode 5, Gohan's Metamorphosis, made its debut on October 11th, 1996, which consists of Day 1 and Gohan Goes Bananas. They were then going to the original episode 9, The Strangest Robot, which made its debut June 28th, 1989, as Ocean. They didn't skip it, but they didn't use very much of it, so you don't actually see the titular robots. And we're going to do It's the first filler episode. You got to talk about the first filler episode.
Of course.
Of course.
But first, we have to get through Gohan's Metamorphosis.
before we talk about the episode, I need to put in a complaint to one Mr. Scott McNeil. Scott. Mr. McNeil, if you will. Stop flirting with me through the episode. What was going on with Piccolo this episode? Just like, yeah, that's right, kid. You get up. It's like, what is, bro? Like, we're getting a little intense about it. It's a little too sexy. What's happening?
The highlight for me is when he gives Gohan the apples, because he's right there. Like, if Gohan turned around 4 degrees, you can clearly hear him, and he's going, yeah, eat the apples, Gohan. It's like, dude, stop speaking to yourself.
Eat the apples, Gohan. Eat the apples.
Don't ask where I got them from.
Like, am I crazy for thinking that Scott McNeil was putting a little, like, intense amount of growl on that voice? Like, a more intense amount of growl than usual? Like, a very, like, sexy kind of thing. It was more his Wolverine voice.
It is Wolverine. Like, it is, like, that very low, little bit Canadian.
Yeah. Canadian Piccolo.
Even though he's Aussie.
Special beam schnicked.
Special beam schnicked is... I need a t-shirt of that. With just Piccolo, but it's just like the beams coming out of the...
They still have to be like curly.
Yeah, obviously.
To open a bottle of red.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of the actors, or at least, remember, we're still relatively early days as far as the Ocean dub's concerned. We're 6 episodes in, even though I think material-wise we're drawing from like 10 episodes, the first 10 episodes for these 6.
Yeah, like, so episode 6 will contain 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah, which is funny because we're still in that point where even sort of Funimation and Saban are still very unsure where their lines are. So we're getting a lot of very odd little cuts here and there. Like, one of my personal favourites is, so we lose in Guys Metamorphosis, we lose some things where it's like, okay, that totally makes sense. Then we lose things that are really important. Like, we lose the scene of Cammy and Mr. Popo where Cammy explains, oh, if Piccolo dies, I die. Which is really essential to a later episode, and they just don't ever deal with that problem. Maybe it might have been because of Mr. Popo, but I don't know. We cut Gohan taking a pee on a rock, though weirdly the pee stain is visible on the rock afterwards, which is something we'll start seeing them crop out later on. We lose a lot of Krillin and Chi-Chi stuff, but that's fine. The worst thing is we lose the bar in the other world scene.
Yeah.
We don't see Fortune Teller Baba, which makes all the stuff about Cammy asking people to go train make no sense.
Fortune Teller Baba, if I recall correctly, Fortune Teller Baba doesn't really exist for a good chunk of the Ocean dub.
I think she randomly like shows up maybe post Saiyan battle. Just
Maybe?
like, hey, I've been here the whole time.
She's one of like the weirdest characters if you watch these old dubs, because she appears so infrequently, but when they keep her in, it's because she has important dialogue, so everyone still reacts to her like everyone knows who she is, and you've just kind of got to go with it.
Yeah, everybody knows who Fortune Teller Baba is. You don't, poser.
I don't think I knew who Fortune Teller as a kid watching these. I don't think I knew who Fortune Teller Baba was until like Goku gets brought back to Earth for the martial arts tournament.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's like episode 200 something.
They only get away with it because she looks like a witch. So you can kind of sort of fill in the gap of what her archetype is. But yeah, Um, yeah, one of the other cuts of this, we Ox King loses his cigarette, which is one of the best edits of animation ever do. When he's in the car, it's going around his mouth, and they get every frame, they get it perfectly. So that's where all the budget for this episode went, removing the Ox King cigarettes,
They did such a good job with that, but they couldn't do it for Yu Yu Hakusho.
because it was all spent on this. We cut Bulma firing at Roshi and Krillin with her machine gun, which is I get that you can't have at this point, Saban's rule is that you're allowed guns, but characters have to die when shot.
Hmm.
Which is, I guess, is logical. In America, kids are likely to find guns, so
Yeah,
we cut.
you can't mess around with that here.
Yeah, we cut Gohan peeing off a cliff, and when Gohan goes back from Great Ape, we put a little bush is there over his privates, which is great. It's a desert, apart from this one tiny tree in the perfect place.
But yes,
Cammy's like, nope.
Nope, absolutely not. We will not be seeing that today. But yeah, so Gohan in this episode is getting trained by Piccolo, aka Piccolo is abandoning him in the woods, and everything. And poor Krillin has to figure out a way to tell Chi-Chi that her husband is dead, and he doesn't do it. And man, what a crazy thing to have to tell somebody. Hey, your husband is dead. Your son has been kidnapped by one of the greatest threats to Earth that we've ever known, and there's nothing we can do about it.
But hey, you'll probably be dead in a year anyway, so it's probably going to work out.
You'll be fine. You get to meet King Kai next, Chi-Chi.
Beat him up. Yeah, and that speech he gives is a horrible, horrible milestone. It's our first mention of the phrase "other dimension."
Yeah.
Not dead. This one is at least not as egregious because it does come off as Krillin being euphemistic.
Yeah.
Well, and I think you mentioned this like last week, John. Like the other dimension phrase isn't as bad as say, or maybe it was Alex, that as like say the Shadow Realm, because we literally see Goku in another dimension.
With a halo.
Yeah.
With a halo part, I think is the harder sell for me here. Because it's like you can say anything about someone being another dimension, but any child is going to see that halo and know that that means Goku is dead. Because angels have halos and angels are dead. I don't know.
Eyes with wheels, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't get bad till later on when we start getting people like Frieza saying it.
Or Vegeta.
Yeah, Raditz got lucky with this one because Raditz came just when they were still like, okay, the villains can say die, that's okay. So here it's nice and easy, but yeah, it's going to become. You can't sound threatening while sending someone to the other dimension because it sounds like you're sending them on vacation. Like, I'm sending you to Swindon.
Swindon. Gasp. And everybody in Swindon gets a halo.
Yeah.
We got Goku running. Goku sure is running. He do be running.
Yeah, it's a bit weird in Ocean because we do cut back to Goku for like these like 5 seconds of Goku moments where it's like, I've done nothing. Like
Goku sure is running.
The lack of the bar really does ruin the Snake Way bit for this episode because it's just like, oh, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna do a bit more running. It's like, okay, Goku, we get you're running.
And he ate a cloud.
Yum.
Yum. Delicious.
One of the sort of odder little bits as well is how Ocean, when Piccolo removes Gohan's tail, Ocean changed all the dialogue. So they don't have him, because in Japan he monologues about how the tail is a Saiyan's weak point, so no Moon means the other guys can't transform, no tail on Gohan means they can't grab Gohan's tail. Perfect. In this, they just have him not really say anything, so it looks like he pulls it off just for fun. So they do add a comical popping sound, so it's like he's Lego.
I do like how in the dark the majority of the cast is about the Ozaru transformation. Like Bulma, Roshi, and Krillin know, Yamcha knows, Puar knows, and Oolong knows, but it doesn't seem like this is not disseminated as information, which makes sense because Piccolo didn't have Goku transform in front of him, and this was going to catch him way off guard.
Also, we just presume that Saiyans and people like half Saiyans don't look up very often.
I think that maybe I might be misremembering this, but I seem to remember something about like Chi-Chi making Gohan go to bed so early that like he just never had the opportunity.
That's what Goku says in the previous episode. They go to bed early.
Yeah, that's how they explain it away. It's like, oh no, we go to bed. which means, I mean, we'll get to it when we get to it, but it also insinuates Goku doesn't know about the transformation, which has probably the worst discrepancy with Ocean Funimation Japanese
Yeah.
exposition when Vegeta transforms in about 20 episodes.
I mean, like that's how I mean, not I've harped on this before. Goku finds out that he killed his grandpa from Vegeta. Like that is how he finds it out. His friends didn't have the decency to tell him.
But not in this dub.
Not in this dub.
No, in this dub, he learns that his father was a scientist, which is much easier to take.
Your father was an average warrior, but a brilliant scientist.
He was tenured.
And then
Yeah.
you have Bardock come out being like, I'm a brilliant scientist.
The science is punching. That's the
Science
entire...
is fun. Well, I am working on this fake moon thing.
Oh, talking of fake moons, we get my favorite retcon in this episode. So Piccolo blows up the moon.
Yes.
He charges a special beam cannon, he fires at the moon, but he doesn't.
It's an illusion.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot renamed it the Explosive Demon Wave Illusion. Said, oh, it's actually only an illusion of the world blowing up, which is more terrifying because we see the moon is gone in later shots, which means this is Piccolo fucking mass hypnosis that works on the entire planet.
It's the infinite Tsukuyomi for your Naruto fans out there. No, Piccolo's abilities are kind of ill-defined at this point because he can just do magic. He can create matter out of nothing and make the moon disappear. Like how could anyone survive at this point?
I do love his make Gohan clothes beam. Ooh.
Clothes be like again, he's transmuting matter out of nothing. They had rules about this in Full Metal Alchemist, okay? Like they had actual factual rules. How do Namekians are so fascinating to me? It's also he doesn't have bones, and he doesn't even have bones.
He's a demon, right?
And a slug, demon slug,
Demon slug alien.
Yeah.
demon slug alien with no bones, probably
with demon status reaffirmed, like decanonized by Z and reaffirmed by Daima. It's like, no, he is a demon.
From another dimension, so I mean, when she's double alien.
Yeah.
It's just because it's cooler, you know. It's like Thor. I think I said this last time. It's like Thor from the Marvel universe. He's an alien, but also a god.
Yes.
Whenever I'm reminded of him putting the clothes on Gohan, I'm always like, I'm surprised Toriyama never did a thing where like Piccolo beams Vegeta into a dress during their fight, because that seems like such a Toriyama gag. It's like, haha.
Haha. Well, Piccolo and Vegeta never fight.
Well, putting him in a dress wouldn't technically be combat, though.
It's true.
He's got a gigantic like Goldberg sized man beating on him during all
That
that.
is true. Uniqlo beam.
The Team 4-Star guys have a good joke about the clothes beam where he should start a clothing line and call it Big Green Threads. And I would buy something from Big Green Threads.
Oh, they should make a t-shirt that is just Piccolo beamed this shirt on. I was trained by Piccolo and all I got was this t-shirt.
And it's got the Ma symbol on the back. Like that would be actually I'd wear that. That'd be kind of dope.
Also, the Funimation dub for this episode with Day One has one of my favorite little gags in the credits. In their version only, the three-eyed woman in the bar is referred to as Tien's mom in the credits.
Okay.
And this is because she's voiced by Linda Young, who is the mother of Jonathan Bergermeyer, the voice of Tien. She's literally voiced by Tien's mom.
That's fun. And she will go on to be Frieza.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite sweet little gags they put. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, I love that. That's really sweet. She's also Genkai, fun fact.
She's a lot. With these early Funimation dubs, it's like everyone does everything.
If you're not Sabat, you're someone else.
If you have time to lean, you have time to voice act.
Get in the janitor's closet, Linda. You just came over here to drop off your son's lunch for the day, and now you're a voice actor.
Can you do 50 roles? Sure.
Sure, why not? My son is having fun.
Yeah. You're gonna pay me with a Subway sandwich? Only a 6-inch though? Okay.
I don't know if I'm misremembering something about the scene with the apples and Gohan being asleep, but I have a vision in my head, and I don't know if it was fan art or if this is real, of Piccolo reaching out to pet Gohan's head, and then he doesn't, and that doesn't happen here.
Not here.
Happens later on.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That happens later on in the episode. Okay,
That is
I
that
just
is
needed
a
to know.
that is a scene that does occur. It just doesn't happen here.
Okay, I was just misremembering. I'm
Right.
happier with that because I remember loving that moment as a kid.
The false memory you'll have with this scene is one that Gohan imagines an apple tree, because for some reason, Funimation in Japan, Gohan has a little thought bubble showing an apple tree. Funimation and Ocean replaced that with just him saying, "I don't see any trees." They airbrushed the bubble away. And in Japan, Gohan hates the apples. He thinks they're sour. But in Ocean, they soften it by having him say he liked them.
Oh,
Yeah.
we have to be nice to Mr. Piccolo, or he will go ape shit.
In the Funimation dub, he says they're sour too, but he eats them anyway. And Piccolo, in this case, Sabat Piccolo, not McNeil Piccolo, is like spoiled brat. You didn't
Yeah.
like it.
Sabat Piccolo, more fatherly, McNeil Piccolo trying to seduce you through the mic.
Yeah.
Look,
Um,
kid, I only drink water. I have no idea what these things even are.
It's even funnier in Dragon Ball Z Kakarot because you have to go on a little side mission as Piccolo, and there are apples everywhere, but you specifically pick the unripe ones for Gohan.
Objective, be a shit.
Objective. I guess this is fine, even though I have 50 normal apples in my inventory.
And I could probably make them using my magical powers.
I guess. Hello.
So we should move on to the Strangest Robot, which is... I've been very confused. I've been trying to work out what episodes Ocean skipped. And I was like, they didn't skip this one. I thought they did, but they didn't, because they didn't skip it. They used the first 16 minutes. They used about 90 seconds of it. Basically, we don't see the robot at all, but they do a really fun editing trick. So this starts with Gohan waking up. He's grabbed by a bird, which is killed by a pterodactyl, which drops him in a hole where the robot is. Funimation, Ocean used the Falcon bit. But what they do is they take the scene of him waking up at the start and put that after he's dropped. So rather than falling into the hole, they play it as he got knocked out.
Oh.
So yeah, they reverse the order of the scenes to cover up the fact we are effectively skipping an episode. But we need Gohan to be like, wait, where's my tail gone? Wait, why am I clothed now?
I love when Goku and Gohan first get their tails removed, how hard it is for them to balance. I really like that little piece of detail where they have just a hard time walking and are trying to figure out their center of gravity again. That's a neat little piece. And I've always really appreciated that.
Yeah, it's and it always looks like Gohan has trouble walking anyway at this age.
Because he's so
It's like,
round.
yeah, he's just like he's very compacted.
Until
Uh,
he gets elongated at age 6.
yeah, I'll be honest, in revisiting the Ocean dub with y'all, it does make me think that they had a better idea on pacing
Really?
because there's a lot of like we don't need for going back to Dragon Ball Z episode 1, I don't think we need that much time of Goku and Gohan in the wilderness,
Hmm.
before they go to Kami House. I think we can establish, and we do establish, that Gohan's a wimp pretty well before that, or pretty quickly. It's kind of the same thing with this. The idea that Gohan needs to get stronger to avenge a friend is done better with his dinosaur friend than his robot friend, who he kills because he doesn't listen to at all the entire time they interact. The robot straight up like, please don't dig me out. It's going to cause the cave in.
I I think part of it too is that in the Funimation dub, this is still Stephanie Nadolny doing Gohan.
Yeah.
And man, Stephanie is able to hit that crying note in such a way that it hurts the body a little bit sometimes. Like Colleen is a little more even about it, you know?
She has like voice actor crying. Their first voice actor does that same thing, like when you actually hear a child crying, like that like lizard brain activates of like, okay, I've got to kill him, got to kill something.
Yeah. Like yeah, no, Stephanie Nadolny just really going for that cry, and dang, Gohan do be crying.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Sam. The reason this episode, there's never been an official confirmation why this episode is cut, but it's clearly for time. This is, American TV, they buy kid shows in very specific orders of 24 to 27. They're going to want you to get to Vegeta for the end of that 27 if you want to get renewed. This episode exists because Toei do weekly schedules, and the animators, you will not get a week off. Toei will take you out back and feed you to Godzilla.
They will. They absolutely will. Like look at what happens at Japanese animation studios.
Yeah. Like having your first filler 9 episodes in is just I'm I like this episode, but it's so weird to have the filler be Gohan robot body rather than the obvious. We cutting it next couple of episodes. We get the obvious filler of Goku on Snake Way meeting weird monsters, which just slots in way more naturally than this.
Goku's still running in this episode. There is something in me that kind of likes the foreshadowing of this with this in Android 16, but I don't know if that was the intention. Like, I like it as foreshadowing, like Gohan learning, like, here it's like you have to take care of yourself. There it's like being the good man who did nothing is not worth anything. It like thematically, I like it. I just don't think it was intentional.
No. This has the feeling of a spec script a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I could totally buy that this script was floating around the Toei offices, and it was going to be whenever we need a filler episode, we just swap character names. It's a classic bottle episode, effectively. Just here's a cave and here's the thing. Though we're raggy on it, but we are wrong. In Dragon Ball GT Perfect File V2, Masaka Noir's states this was her favourite episode while voicing Gohan. So maybe we just have no taste.
We are just incorrect. I always do appreciate Toriyama's robot designs, and maybe I'm being a little bit more even keeled with this filler episode, even though it really doesn't need to exist. Because I like Gohan's little mystical adventure in Goku's outfit, meeting the sci-fi stuff. I think that that's kind of cool as a way to like shift from the magic of Dragon Ball into the sci-fi of Dragon Ball Z. That would be more effective if Dragon Ball had gotten popular in America. Like, I think there's something literarily that I'm really liking, but none of it is set up correctly.
Well, that's because I have to fortune teller Barbara on why she's so weird when she inevitably appears, because it's like, oh, a witch from Macbeth is here. We must take her seriously.
She's wearing the hat. Once they're wearing the hat, you have to take them seriously. Brimcat Baba from my witch hat atelier friends out there.
It's just, yeah, it's a very odd little thing. I always thought it weird at the end of this episode that Goku is like going into Teen Goku as a look. Like he's a bit slimmer and a bit taller. We'll get rid of that next episode, but it does look like this was going to be a transition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the big thing is like going into next episode, he's the episode's credit, he is a transformed character. He is self-sufficient. He's bouncing around. He's got a sword. He does stuff.
He's got that, like, I like that shot at the end of the episode with Gohan just doing that little Goku-esque smile. Like, Gohan doesn't look the most like Goku. That's Goten's job for when we run out of character designs. But I like those little moments where Gohan does look like Goku. I think that that's really, really cute. I really liked that. I thought it was very fun because Gohan and Goku are so different from each other as characters. And remembering that Dragon Ball Z was supposed to be Gohan's story. Like that's kind of part of this too, is we all kind of forget that Z was initially supposed to be Gohan's.
I mean, it is at the moment. He's getting all the screen time.
Yeah, it will kind of build to that for the first 199 episodes into his adulthood, and then they're like, "Oh, do you guys miss Goku, huh?" Oh, okay.
And Toriyama's like, make Gohan the intro sequence. So that will tell him, and that doesn't tell him.
Yeah. I don't know if I've told you both this theory before, but I do blame Dragon Ball Z for the existence of Boruto and Yashahime and all of that. I do think that Dragon Ball Z is the reason why those shows exist and why we need to be upset at Dragon Ball Z sometimes. Like,
yeah.
Like Boruto does not exist in a vacuum. It is because of Dragon Ball Z, and Boruto is not as good of a character as Gohan. Like, that's the problem. Gohan is actually really fun and a very interesting character when he gets the chance to be. I'm just ragging on Boruto right now, but I'm going to rag on Boruto.
His name also makes him sound like a cleaning product.
Yeah.
I think it's like a bolt is like the idea of it. I don't know.
Sounds like something you put down your drains. Cup full of Boruto will get rid of the blockage.
Yeah, it's like borax, but the idea.
We love Gohan.
I do think that my least favorite thing about Gohan is how often he gets nerfed.
I mean, yeah,
it's all the time.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a failure to commit, yeah. And I think it's what we're also seeing sort of here already a little bit is that Toei are very, and this is Toei's the same Weekly Shonen Jump and US, they all have this problem of once they find something that makes money, they become just iron fisted and not moving an inch, even when and they're not good enough at picking up fan consensus, and will end up running things into the ground when there is ample chance to save them, even when the creators are there. Like I'm amazed Chainsaw Man got away with what it did. I still am because I was really worried it was going to be. I know you've got to bring the original guys back over and over again because they sell merch, but they won't move. And I think that's the thing here we're already seeing. It's like this is Gohan's story, but they're all like, well, Goku is the one shifting the toys. So
Yeah. It is interesting too how deep editorial mandate in manga like really kind of holds some of the coolest stuff back. Like I bitch about My Hero Academia a lot, mainly because I like it, but editorial mandate really cut the knees out from that anime, and I feel that way deep in my heart.
yeah, so we're seeing that as well. A 9 episodes in, doing a filler episode is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like this one came out all right. It could have been worse, but it's still so. And it's because they're not going to allow these guys to have a break or do. We've always done the weekly an anime episode every week, which worked with Sally the Witch in the 50s when you were able to recycle literal film cells over new backgrounds. But that's not going to work going into the late 80s. The quality's gone up, and we see that. And even with Super had the same problems. Like the quality's gone up. You cannot do weekly episodes anymore. Even One Piece has finally learned this lesson. Like
Yeah.
last year, it's like we can't keep doing this.
I mean, look at what happened with Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, and the fact that half the Mappa staff quit because it was just too much to do in that short. They had to reanimate multiple pieces of Jujutsu Kaisen for the Blu-ray releases, which isn't. It's just insane that we can't let the animators outside. You know?
Yeah, yeah, I find that fascinating. And now we're kind of seeing that. I think, it comes full circle with Dragon Ball. Now they're like, we're gonna remake Super, but
Yeah.
it looks good now. And it's like, well, there's parts of it that always look good. I always thought the Turn on Power looked fantastic.
I,
Um,
I can't
if a bit matted. The cells looked a bit too juxtaposed on the backgrounds.
I think one of the bigger issues I had with Super and kind of Kai too, when they did the spruce up of that, was the plasticine sheen that everything got. Like the thing with these episodes that I love how these episodes look, and maybe it's just because I'm so hungry for that classic Dragon Ball look, but I love how everything looks in these episodes. I love how the mountains look. I love how Gohan looks. I love Snake Way. It may be one shot, but it's an interesting shot.
Yes, I think we'll one day get to it. But Super at times felt like someone trying to consciously remake Dragon Ball, which doesn't. The nice thing I see, and we see all this, like Z is very weird as a show, but it's so clear that Toriyama had this very specific vision for it of what he wanted to do. When you get other people coming in and going like, okay, you've got to emulate that style, you can't. You're not Toriyama. The guy they got in, he'd help him out, is great. I love his art. I love his when he does his personal style. It's amazing. When he takes up his own direction, it's amazing. You just can't ape being someone who has such a distinctive voice, Toriyama. It never. If we try and do like a second season of Utena, it just wouldn't work because you've got to have this. It's like when trying to make a sequel to David Lynch film. You need that weirdo there because trying to be David Lynch doesn't make you David Lynch.
Yeah, just take a look at Twin Peaks season 2.
Oof. Oh, that's a rough season.
Before we end, just want to bring up a Funimation trend we're going to be seeing a lot more comes in this episode of them despecificizing things. So Gohan calls the whole place the Nomura Ruins, which is it's a nice little reference to Lemuria, which was an old myth, conspiracy theory that there's a sunken continent between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Pure nonsense, but fun if you want some H.G. Wells nonsense, sort of bookish nonsense. They remove that reference, and they also have the robot say he was trapped for 30 years rather than 80 years. Which, not really any reason to do that, Funimation, apart from you don't like big numbers, maybe? I don't know. Funimation will start doing this a lot on the weirdest things, which make no difference.
Oh, we've already covered it with like Tree of Might, where in the Japanese dub and the Ocean dub, Goku goes Kaioken times 10, And in the Funimation dub, he's like times 20 because it's that big of a threat. And it's like, well, you didn't have to do that.
Denny's
Somebody,
of no, go ahead.
no, I was going to say somebody on the Funimation staff clearly has dyscalculia and they just haven't been diagnosed yet.
It just can't. Fun. I've always looked into it. I always wondered if it's like some weird copyright thing. Is if we change enough numbers that we get like it's not an adaptation, it's an original production for like union rules or something. I've never had anyone confirm that to me, but that's always been my sneaking suspicion. There's some like archaic rule because it's always on the weirdest things that make no. There clearly wasn't a meeting where we sat down and go, "Oh, that's got to change." Just like, we said 30. Let's say 45.
Just have Justin Cook and Sabat in like an enclosed room being like, okay, we have to make sure everybody gets their SAG-AFTRA check. Like, let's just change that.
Sabat just gets possessed by fortune teller Barbara and starts shouting out numbers and we start adding them in.
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked, but we are coming close to the end, so it's time for some final thoughts.
Did we talk about Yamcha at all?
We didn't talk about Yamcha.
He's mentioned. We'll see him next episode.
We will see.
Yajirobe refuses to talk to him in person.
Which is Yajirobe. Before we get to final thoughts, Yajirobe comes out hot in this episode. He's mad. He's like Korin kicked me off the tower, and I have to talk to you bitches. Like he's so upset.
He's so content in Korin's tower because that's once he holds up there, that's it for him. He's like, this is all I do now. This is me.
Beans. I got beans. I got cat. I got beans and cat. That's all I need.
Yeah.
but every time I hang around Roshi, something bad happens. So I'm not going to hang around Roshi anymore.
Not going to hang around Roshi any. And actually good planning on Yajirobe's part. But yeah, final thoughts. Let's rock it.
Well, that's the big thing. That's my big gripe about early Dragon Ball Z is maybe you could just argue Dragon Ball Z in general is there's a lot of wheel spinning and we're finally starting to see the consequences of that with both Snake Way and Gohan's whiny adventure in the countryside for 6 months. So yeah, that's it gets whenever I like introduce Dragon Ball Z to people, I'm always like, you can, just watch the first couple episodes and skip to like episode 20. You'll get the same experience.
Wow, that's crazy.
You can see why Kai became a thing.
Yeah.
So I now want Gohan's whiny adventure in the JoJo font.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, Ocean, and it maybe a bit of nostalgia talking, Ocean are doing a fine job. I think probably because the really heavy Saban stuff hasn't come in yet. We're getting the hints of it with other dimension, but right now it is working. Strangest Robot is it's not the most iconic of the filler episodes. It's fun as a one-off, but I wouldn't say it's. If you're a completionist, it's worth going to check out. It's not probably worth it if you just want the Kai. If you want to be quick, you're watching Kai. But yeah, we are seeing those little hints right now of A, where the original is going, and two, where Saban is suddenly realizing, man, the Japanese have very different standards for what can pass on children's television. Oh dear, we're going to have to get the scissors out.
Yeah, you can see the scissors coming out quite a bit here. I am going to disagree. I like the filler episode. I maybe because I'm giving it the literary boost in my head, but I do like it thematically. I like what it says about Gohan. I like what it says about his journey. I like that it kind of gets bookended with Android 16, even by mistake. Like I like that kind of coincidence to it. I do also, again, I need Scott McNeil. Just your voice needs to call me, like just your voice, not the maybe I don't know, but
in the middle of the night, leave me some apples.
Yeah, no, just like I'm sorry. There's something about his Wolverine / Piccolo voice that is just like, damn, that's kind of hot. Not gonna lie to you. But yeah, I think that the Ocean dub kind of takes a lot of flack from people, especially these days, and it's actually a pretty good dub. Like it's still very enjoyable. It's still a lot of fun if you get your hands on it, watch it. But that does mean that we have come to the end of our episode. That is right. It's time for us to disembark from Toonami Absolution. We want to thank you once again in joining us and talking about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. We have been your hosts. My name is Alyx.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John.
And we'll see you next time. Bang.